Good evening, everybody. It is Sunday, the 18th of August. And just give me a moment while I make sure that we're streaming everywhere we need to be streaming. And then I can get into this evening's very, very important conversation. There we go. Right, we're streaming live on Instagram as well. Now, this evening's a bit of an unusual one. And this is primarily aimed at the BestAgent YouTube and Instagram channels. But it's about overvaluing, which affects movers and agents equally. And the purpose of this video is to just start again for people who don't know the story, to understand why overvaluing happens and to understand why it's so hard for agents to stop overvaluing, even though it makes their job harder and costs them money and loses transactions and makes the whole housing market choke up. So if overvaluing is so destructive, why don't agents stop it? Now, on September the 4th, Wednesday, September the 4th, I am holding an all-day online conference only for estate agents. It's a free one where we are launching effectively the war on overvaluing for agents who no longer want to do it. And BestAgent is going to be supporting those agents who want to end overvaluing. And my commitment to those agents through BestAgent is that we will not stop helping them with the tools and support and training to wean themselves off overvaluing, because it's currently not possible for many agents to stop. And to actually not only do that, but actually double their results by making it easier for the moving public to find those agents that can actually get your home sold faster at a better price once and for all. And this involves an information campaign as much to movers as it does to agents. I've got a really good lineup of speakers for BestAgent Day. Really good lineup of speakers. And actually later on, I'm going to run through it. All of whom agree that overvaluing by estate agents is self-defeating and self-destructive, but will never stop. Most of them don't believe it can be stopped. Part of what I've been working on for a long time, and long-time followers of the channel will know this, is the BestAgent Public House Price Index, which, if we can get it to the level we need to get it to, and that's what I've been working on, will effectively neutralize overvaluing by providing a level of transparency on what prices houses are actually selling at almost immediately after they've exchanged contracts. So even before completion gets registered at the land registry, the BestAgent Public House Price Index will be a growing index of actual prices paid for transactions that have completed. So it will ignore fall throughs. It won't just be for mortgage based or just for cash based. It'll be the whole of market. And we will be getting the sources of those exchange prices, not only from the members of the public, because it's the first time a house price index will be allowing members of the public to report their exchange prices, buyer or seller, also in lettings as well, but that's not the topic of this evening, as well as agents who report their exchange prices will be given access to this index. They'll give preferential early access to the house price index data for their region in return. So there's no money involved. In return for declaring their exchange prices, they'll get access to the exchange price data. And sellers looking to find an agent to sell their house will also get access to the relevant local exchange prices, so that sellers who've got their wits about them and actually need and want to move and don't want to be hoodwinked and bamboozled and lied to by the worst overvaluers will actually be able to see them off and go, well, I know that's just rubbish because I've got recent exchange price data. It's really important, above all else, that movers understand this one thing. Among agents, there are good agents who want to be able to do better and who want to be able to be more honest. But the way the game is currently played means that they are punished for being honest, because The propaganda about house prices is so effective and plays so well into the hands of the worst overvaluing agents, which tends to be the big corporates. It's not exclusively those, and it's not all of them either, but it tends to be large corporates. And this video, I'm going to explain exactly why they do it and why they do it on purpose and why they can't stop doing it. But there are good agents out there who don't want to do it anymore. Not only because they don't like having to exaggerate what they think your house is going to sell for in order to win your business, but also because they know that they can actually get the job done faster, get a better result, get a better price, and for a lot less work if they haven't got to satisfy a seller's overly high expectations in order to win their business. So this campaign to end overvaluing is a win-win-win. It's a win for movers. It's a win for movers as in buyers and sellers, because transactions will pick up. And when transaction volumes pick up, everyone's got more choice and more people buy, more people sell, and it's easier to move. It's a win for agents because properties will sell quicker at a better price. And the agents who are good at that will be able to start to be identified compared to the ones who deliberately do what I call list and lock, to be explained in a moment. And for those of you who saw my interview less than a week ago with Teddy, if you haven't seen it, go and check it out, where he admitted, and I invited him on because he's already demonstrated that my approach for agents to stop overvaluing and start using overvaluing against the agents who do it, whilst it took him a few months to turn the corner, he said the results were extraordinary. And he admitted that before that, he was instructed by his bosses, as most of the industry is, to go out and tell the sellers roughly 10% more than you actually think it's worth, because if you don't, we won't get a look in on the business and we won't get instructed, and without instructions, we can't earn a fee. In its simplest terms, estate agency businesses can't make money unless they get paid when a house completes, right? So when a deal completes, so the deal has to happen before they can get paid. To get a deal, they have to get offers. To get offers, they have to get viewings. To get viewings, they have to get instructions from sellers. And to get instructions from sellers, they've got to compete against the lying, overvaluing agents, right? They can't get paid without deals, can't get deals without offers, they can't get offers without viewings, they can't get viewings without instructions, and they can't get your instructions as a seller unless they appear to be not underpricing your property. And it's true. That's a side. I'm not going to go down that. That's a tangent. So there's no point in me, there's no blame in this, because blaming, even if there are people to blame, it solves nothing. What's more important is to understand why it happens. Now, the overvaluing playing field is very tilted in favor of the larger agents, because they can afford to take on properties that they don't sell in a way that smaller agents cannot afford to do that. And this is one of the things that's killing smaller agents, even when they're good. This is why this is actually really important that we stop overvaluing dead in its tracks, because good agents who deserve business aren't getting it, because the bad agents who are overvaluing, by convincing sellers that the house is worth more than it is, then locking those sellers into a long sole agency contract of sometimes up to 26 weeks, that's 6 months, even though they know they can't sell it. Well, you think, well, why did they do that, Charlie? Because many of those large agents make more than half of their income from conveyancing and mortgage referral commissions. they can hit their financial targets without selling your home. Let that sink in. They can hit their financial targets without selling your home because they make money from other things, other inquiries and leads that they get, simply because your home is listed on their books. London's two largest estate agencies both sell less than 3 in 10 of the properties they list. So if you pick one of London's two largest estate agents, you have a 70% chance that your property will not be sold with them. This is not widely available public information, but it's true. And one of the things that allows them to get away with it is the other income streams that they have. So there, sometimes, actually it's the national corporate chains that are the worst at this, they will say, your house is worth so much money, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. And not only that, our fee is the cheapest fee. So we're going to sell your house for the most money for the lowest fee. And because most people who don't understand the process of selling a house think innocently that, well, as long as my house is on Rightmove, I'm going to sell it, right? So they sign up thinking, oh, this is a no-brainer. I'm going to get a fantastic price for my house. My fee is going to be really small. And then 6 months later, they are often sitting there with nobody at the door wanting to view their house, with the house not sold, wondering how on earth this could have happened and not wanting to tell anyone about it because they feel a bit silly. And this is happening non-stop. And despite my best efforts on this channel, this is still the norm. Most first-time sellers are lambs to the slaughter of these listing and locking very poor quality, high volume estate agents. These guys can do it because of their high volume, they make lots of money from other things. All of which, by the way, ultimately cost you, the mover, money. But they don't do it from selling houses. They make less than half of their money from selling houses, some of them. Okay, so why does this happen? When did it start? Why does it happen? And why can't it be stopped? And more importantly, how is BestAgent going to stop it? And in doing so, start to speed up transaction times, double transactions for the agents who can do this, and get the market moving again. In a nutshell, it's because the British public and the British media are addicted to stories about house prices. It doesn't matter what the story is, going up, going down, not moving. The British public are bizarrely addicted to it. And yet, the worse house price rises are, and I use the word worse because for this reason, the harder it becomes to afford houses and fewer people can buy them. Not only that, when, in terms of the housing market, all the media does is talk about prices rather than fall through rates, rather than time to sell, rather than the fact that some of their biggest advertisers fail to sell 70% of the properties that they list. When an agent comes into your living room, the only conversation is about price, and they can make up a number. And if you are underinformed enough, you will believe it, because they, all day, every day, these particular types of agents have specialist staff that don't sell houses. All they do is come around and sign you up. They're just closers. They are professional sales closers. They've got a patter and it works. And as long as they get 1 in 3 of the appointments they go around to, they hit their targets and they earn a commission. These guys and girls earn a commission. They get paid a commission just because you signed up to sell your house to them, even when your house doesn't get sold. So those individuals have zero interest in whether your house sells or not. Unlike small owner-managed businesses, for example, who actually lose out if your house isn't sold, not only financially, but on a reputational basis as well. Now, this started in the 90s. And I know this because I was there, I saw it and heard it with my own ears and eyes. I had a lot of friends who went and worked at Foxtons in the 90s, but it was still a relatively small company. I think it only had like 6 or 7 branches. And I can remember going to the pub after work in London with these guys and hearing exactly what they'd just been trained and what they'd been told. And it was, we're told to tell the sellers whatever they want to hear so that they sign with us. It doesn't matter if we only sell 1 in 4 of the properties we list, which is what it was back then, because our fees are high enough. We hit our targets. It makes us look big. It helps us get invited more. Broads, more for sale boards up, the more successful it looks like we are. And it worked. It worked incredibly well. And it worked so well, they started taking so much business off other agents that very quickly other, what's the word? Unscrupulous companies started to copy them. They weren't breaking the law. It wasn't illegal. They weren't giving you an official valuation. They were giving you an estimate of what they thought your house might sell for. No guarantees at all. And people fall for it hook, line, and sinker because what are they reading in the media week in, week out, month in, month out, even before they want to sell? House prices up, house prices up, house prices up, record house prices, up, 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 house prices double every 10 years, up, up, up. And so most people just go, oh, okay. And immediately in doing so, and this is supported by data from Rightmove and Zoopla themselves, who both put out constantly, if you have to drop your price, you are not only less likely to sell at all, but you're also more likely to sell at a lower price than if you had listed it at a realistic price first. This can be stopped with enough, and it doesn't need very many, enough agents in each area armed with the data to prove that the other agents are indeed overvaluing and therefore make it crystal clear to Mr. and Mrs. Seller in their front room that those other agents are all of them lying and know that they're lying. Some of them don't care. Some of them do it reluctantly, but they're all lying. There are, of course, still sellers who will just want to go, la, 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 la. I just want to believe the ones that tell me I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to go with those guys, just see how it goes, just try. Because they don't understand that when you fail to sell your house the first time, it's harder to sell it the second time. Most sellers don't know. And this is data I got last week. In the last year, the full year that was measured, only 43% of houses that came to the market sold. 57% didn't sell at all. And of the ones that did sell, most of those sold less than they needed to because most sellers made the mistake of listing too high to begin with, then lowering their price, then looking like there's something wrong with the property and not succeeding in getting competing bids and therefore selling at an undervalue. Because that's what happens. So if you're an agent watching this, everything that I'm doing, everything I've done with BestAgent, my entire career, what I've been building for the last 7 years, every penny I've got, my children's future, everything is gambled on ending overvaluing and doubling housing transactions. And I know that there are agents who want this to happen. And on BestAgent Day, I've got a lineup of amazing agents, really successful ones, talking about how overvaluing is killing the industry, but saying that they don't know how they can stop it. And I want BestAgent to be the catalyst that stops it. And it's quite convoluted. There's a lot to go through on the day. And it involves conveyancing, it involves referral commissions, having to stop excess referral commissions. It involves making the public aware of long-sold agency contracts. It involves coming up with a templated set of terms of business that sellers can offer to agents and say, we are the owners of this house. We get to choose which agent is going to sell it. And we would like to suggest these terms because these terms are fair. Not your ridiculous 26-week lock-in, which where I'm never going to sell. I'll be stuck with you and you won't let me leave and go to an agent that can sell my house. And if we can start to get proof and data and evidence of this wanton, dishonest overvaluing by large corporations and raise awareness of the public, they will have to stop. They will have to stop. And they will have to start competing on actual service levels and actual results like the rest of the world does. And the only reason they're able to get away with it at the moment is because of the lack of transparency on actual house prices. Okay? So I'm just trying to think how I can condense a huge amount of information into something small and worthwhile. This is a generalization, and there are plenty of exceptions to it, but generally this is true. The market-leading estate agents by market share of properties for sale are very rarely the same as the market-leading agents by market share of properties sold. And lesson number one for sellers is you need to ignore market share of unsold properties for obvious reasons. An agent that's got the most properties on the market is an agent that's the worst at selling them, right? Agents who've got no properties on the market, it's because they've sold them. People I tell that in the penny, and they go, oh my God, yeah, I hadn't thought about that. You can't blame the staff at these large corporations because they are employed to do a job and they have to do the job that their company is set up to provide for. And these companies are set up over decades to have marketing message and systems and processes that just feed this one method of playing this game. Okay. And so they are targeted on numbers of signups, not numbers of sales. They get paid commission for something. This is something, if you're a seller, right? You need to ask someone, do you get commission if I sign up? If the answer is yes, you shouldn't use that agent. You just shouldn't use that agent. But what it comes down to, and this is the worst part, right? Why do the good agents, the would-be honest agents, end up joining in the overvaluing game? Because the dishonesty wins. It's louder and there are more people. And, you know, when people make the mistake of just picking 3 agents, which in itself is a mistake, it's not enough. And then all 3 agents tell them a similar valuation, they think, wow, they can't all be lying, can they? Yes, they can. Yes, they usually are. If you get an agent that comes in and gives you a surprisingly lower valuation than the other agents, you shouldn't dismiss them as not being good enough or being too pessimistic or not knowing how to sell a house at the right price. You should ask them exactly why they think that and ask them to back it up and ask them and say, do you think the other agents are overvaluing? Can we have a look at it? Can you show us the evidence? And a good agent will be able to do that. They'll be able to show you the proof that other agents are overvaluing, locking people into long-sold agency contracts, keeping them on the market for months at a time. So because Best Agent Day is a little over 2 weeks away, my focus for the next 2 weeks is going to be promoting Best Agent Day, to invite agents to come along. It's free, it's online, you can watch it from anywhere, but you must be an agent. There's nobody else, there's no suppliers, no one else can watch it other than agents. It's a safe agent-only space. We're not going to be playing it on video afterwards. It's going to be live or you miss it. We've got a whole list of really cool speakers. We're going to be going into exactly how agents can turn the tables on the overvaluers if you want to. Just make sure you don't miss that. I'm going to be promoting this every single day. I'm going to be getting into the nitty gritty weeds of the process of selling houses and why overvaluing doesn't just kill transactions, it kills people's chances of selling a house at the best price. Whatever the market's doing, going up, down, sideways, it doesn't matter. But overvaluing is something everyone who's moving house needs to be aware of. Buyers, sellers, agents as well. And you need to actively work against it if you want to move house quicker. If you're a buyer and you make an offer and it's accepted, and then your mortgage lender down values the valuation, meaning that you have to renegotiate the whole deal, your mortgage offer goes out the window, has to be redone again. Even you get affected by it. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. I thank you, all of you who are watching. Yeah, I mean, overvaluing happens everywhere. All right. The more sellers go on falling for it, and there's data to back this up everywhere, and I cannot understand why more sellers aren't waking up to this. I cannot understand it. If you need to sell your house, wouldn't you want to avoid this trap? Guys, I'm going to leave it there for now. I just wanted to get this out there, and I want movers who are talking to agents to make sure that the agents know that you know that overvaluing happens. Ask them about it. Talk about overvaluing. Talk about why it's happening. If you're a seller talking to agents, say, look, I know that there are reasons overvaluing happens and why all agents do it, but I just don't want to fall into that trap. So can we not talk about the guesses that you're making about the value of my house? Can we talk about the process of how you go about getting my best price for my house? So that's why I'm going to be saying to agents every day for the next 2 weeks, let's talk about process, not prices. I'm going to be talking to on Best Agent Day. Let me just show you. I want to show you the speakers that we've got. Here we are. Okay, there's a really cool lineup of speakers, and it's being announced a bit more tomorrow. But just check this out. Okay. So, so this is the Best Agents Day speaker list, Wednesday, 4th of September. And we've got people from all aspects of the moving industry. So Ash Borland was an estate agent, then he was a mortgage broker, and now he's a mortgage broker coach. And he is going to share his views about how overvaluing impacts even the mortgage broking industry and affect it, and how agents can go about helping actually sell more houses using their mortgage brokers that they work with, not the in-house ones, but other ones, the ones they have to work with to get it done faster. He's a top guy, Ash Borland. And if you're a mortgage broker, you didn't know about him, look him up. In the middle there is Adam Day. Adam Day is he's been an agent for a very long time. He's the leader of the fastest growing independent franchise operation of estate agents called EXP. He's a really good agent. He knows it inside and out. He's really respected by agents as well. He also agrees that overvaluing kills the industry. Daniel Daggers, you may recognize, some of you there, is the guy from the Netflix show Buying London, who's been incredibly successful competing against big agents and taking market share at the above £10 million per property. And by the way, if you're an agent watching this, you're going to be able to put live Q&As to these guys on the day, right? So live Q&As to these guys actually on the day. Simon David there, who is the boss of Thomas Legal, which is the conveyancing firm I work with, who is as committed as I am to reducing transaction times. They already do get the transactions over the line on about a month faster than average. And he's going to be sharing, and he's also a former agent, right? So he's a conveyancer that's been an agent, so he gets it and understands it. And he's going to be giving a speech about how excessive referral commissions and panel managers are leading to deals and transactions and pipelines and chains breaking down. Okay. Now, the guy in the middle, some of you recognize as Richard Donnell. who is the research director at Zoopla. He's the man responsible for putting out Zoopla's monthly house price index. He's going to be a speaker. He's going to be bringing some of Zoopla's data to the day as well and taking questions from agents. And he's going to be trying to back up again why overvaluing kills transaction volumes and therefore your income as an agent. Nathan Emerson he was an independent agent, the leader of a big award-winning independent agent for 17 years. He's now the chief executive of Property Mark, which is the UK's foremost professional and regulatory membership. They actually have people working in government with government to try and smooth the process. And I spent time with Nathan earlier this year. I spent a whole day up at Property Mark's headquarters, and I was genuinely impressed by what they're achieving there. Katie Fox is a really rare owner-managed, outstanding estate agent in the Bournemouth and Poole area who absolutely detests overvaluing and is up against it constantly with the corporate agents in her area, but is an award-winning independent agent who has managed to fight the good fight and actually deliver better results for her clients. Katie Griffin, next to her, is another independent owner-managed agency down in Devon. She's also been very involved at senior levels of Property Mark as well. And it's Katie who gave the quote that overvaluing is killing estate agency. And so she's passionate about helping to end overvaluing. Now, Russell Quirk and I famously disagree on a lot of things, but we do agree that overvaluing kills transactions, and we do agree it should be stopped, and only the worst agents do it deliberately at very high levels. But on the day, I'm going to be debating with Russell that even talking about house prices contributes to this problem. And therefore, and also that rising house prices when they rise too fast contributes to the problem of transactions falling and affordability and the ability for people to get on the housing ladder and get their foot into a home. So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a heated debate. Then we've got Perry Power, who is just an outstanding agent, and he also trains agents. And I've worked with Perry. He's a client for me a long time ago. When he first set up his own business, he was a client of mine, and I helped him as he started and grew his business with his systems. And he's a man who says, if you don't have a client's offer on a property under offer in 28 days, you've done something wrong. And he's the man who he goes on and on and on about the importance of your launch marketing price not being too high or too low, but not being too high. And he's a man who goes on and on and on about the importance of the process and understanding the process that it takes to sell a house. Martin Stewart is the owner of a mortgage brokerage in London called London Money, and often writes in the Times about it. And he's just got some really refreshingly direct and blunt views about how excessive house price growth kills the housing market. And I can't wait to have him there sharing his insights and views. And next to him is Arjan Verbeek, who is the CEO of a mortgage lender, Perenna. And he's a man who shares my vision of a home for everyone and making it easy for people to buy family homes. They are leading the way with long-term fixed rate mortgages that actually mean that for the same monthly budget, you can borrow more money. It's not inflationary for house prices because of the way the product's structured. It's very, very clever. And so it's a lineup I'm really proud of. There's one more to show you here, and that's Christopher Watkin. Now, a lot of you will know who Christopher is. He does a weekly property stats show as well. He's someone who believes that just blind positivity is good because it makes confidence, and confidence people buy, and I don't agree. And on the day, I'm going to be having a live head-to-head with him to persuade him that agents talking about house prices, which cannot be verified, so no one trusts it, and it just makes people trust agents less. But he promotes agents talking about house prices as a way to look like you know what your market's doing. I'm saying that erodes trust in agents. And if agents use that time instead to talk about the process, how they're getting properties sold in less time than other agents, how they are achieving better sold prices than other agents, and the nitty-gritty of what goes into that will actually net agents more business from people who want to sell their homes. So it's going to be a full day, and there are going to be some other people as well, hopefully. I'm still putting the final details together. And we're going to be inviting all agents to join BestAgent. to contribute their exchange prices to the house price index, so that the Best Agent Public House Price Index, which is also contributed to by the public, becomes the most accurate and useful house price index of all. Now, I've had some interesting conversations with Richard Donald about this. I'm very, very pleased and grateful to Richard for agreeing to come along, because, of course, as a major part of his job, he's putting out house price news all the time. And I'm going to say to him that actually, if he wants to help Zoopla's agent clients and Zoopla's moving clients move more easily, more quickly, perhaps there are better things to come out of the Zoopla's data that would actually oil the wheels of transactions and make moving easier. And that just talking about house prices, even when it's being realistic, and to be fair, Richard is arguably the most realistic of the house price index authors and architects, it still ends up just being a conversation about prices that leads nowhere other than to people talking the market up. There's some good suggestions here. But in the meantime, so for movers watching this, talk to your agents about this. Raise awareness of the fact that the public is going to start to become more and more aware of deliberate overpricing, just so people can be locked into long solidity contracts, just so that those agents can then sell mortgage and conveyancing products to those guys and make money out of them without selling their houses. Guys, it's Sunday evening. Okay, so thank you. Yeah, if you want to tell your agent how to take part, just Google Best Agent Day and it's register. So this is the page. You just have to search Best Agent Day, and it'll bring them to this page, and they can register for free there. And there are details of it here. They're actually. So there's a form they just have to fill in. It's agents only. Please, members of the public, don't bother registering. You won't be able to watch it. We will be verifying each and every person that comes along. We don't want sneaky people sneaking in. I want a place that agents can discuss things in confidence and in privacy. There are some very powerful early registration incentives for agents that sign up early. It's free. There's no obligation, no cost. But if you end up engaging with Best Agent and taking leads from Best Agent, there are lead credits to incentivize you to register sooner. Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching. And if you're an agent, Best Agent Day. Search it, you'll find it, register, and we'll see you on the day, and you can bring your questions along. And most importantly of all, I know the thing that agents are most worried about. It's, look, I'd love to stop overvaluing, but if I stop overvaluing, I just won't win any business. There is a solution to that problem. There are agents who've already solved that problem, who I'm hoping to have talking on the day as well. We will help and support that problem as well. And when you see what it does to your bottom line as an agent, when you see how it changes the profile of clients that you win into more cooperative ones who are happy to pay the fee you're asking for, when you see what it does to your deal flow, you're going to go, oh my God, I want that so much that I'm prepared to really, really push the boat out and try and make this happen. But it does require a massive shift in mindset for agents. And what it will do, and this is the beautiful part of it, right? The good agents who want to adopt this will be able to adopt it and will see the results very, very quickly. The bad agents who don't want to adopt it will start to lose out. And when they start to lose out, they'll be forced to do one or two things. Either give up and get out of the business, or change their ways and stop overvaluing. And if the industry stops overvaluing, that will help affordability improve. And yet more deals get done. I think there's the potential to double the number of property transactions in this country if the process was easier. And I'm working with the conveyancing firm and mortgage firms to make Best Agent an actual transaction platform where our target is that property transactions take no more than 10 weeks. That's our target. And so that when people start to see, hang on a second, if you originate your move on Best Agent and everyone cooperates, you get it done in 10 weeks. It's totally doable. Totally doable. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Agents, I'm going to be smashing this out on a daily basis. If you're an estate agent watching this, please subscribe to the Best Agent social media channel. So Best Agent channel on YouTube, Best Agent on Instagram, Best Agent on Facebook, LinkedIn, and on X, Best Agent Boss, and Best Agent on X as well. Please follow us there so that I can just put out agent-only content on those channels. Because if agents and movers can work better together, everybody wins except the bad guys. Thanks, guys. See you on the next one. Good night.